Welcome back, everybody, to Fruit Punch with Jack and Cole. I'm Jack,
I'm cool.
and we have some stuff to go over. It's been a good amount of time since our last episode. Once again, we apologize. We were in New York for the fights. It was an experience we will never forget. Cole, where do we start? The fights, the trip. It
I
was
don't know
just
where to start. I mean, if you want a little recap, feel free to go look at my Instagram at Cole Walderman. Um, there's a couple of posts there it's a nice little recap, but to get into more detail, um, also, I'm not trying to get followers. You don't have to follow me, just look at the video. But yeah, just to get into more detail, I guess I went there to visit a friend with a friend, but it was to go see UFC. I was just staying somewhere else. I got there a day before Jack, went to check out the Fighter Hotel, met Jason Perillo, um, I met Marvin Vittori, cool guys, very friendly. It's actually funny. I noticed Perillo because I saw his girlfriend who I was stalking on Instagram, like literally the night before, just a coincidence. And I looked at her on the street and the next to her was Perillo. I was like, oh shit, that's who she is. Yeah, I guess the next day was pretty fun. It's pretty relaxed. Went to dinner with some friends. That night went to dinner with some friends. And the next day, Jack came with his dad and I met them for dinner at another restaurant, which was crazy. Jack can tell you some too. We got, I think we ordered everything on the menu to the table of like
yeah.
15 of us. There was a table behind us of like 20 girls. I don't even know. I would say they're models just because they're all from Europe and there was just one dude at the head of the table. But to be completely honest, that kind of makes them sound like escorts.
They weren't escorts.
They were not. They were very nice. Definitely a weird situation. I think they were just like party goers, attractive ladies with their promoter guy who brings them to parties so people have fun. But yeah, we got drunk, started talking to them. We all started dancing together. Went to the club that was downstairs in that same restaurant. And Jack can take it from here because I don't remember shit. So
I don't remember a lot either, but it was, yeah, not to get into too much detail. I think we all had a pretty good time. It's New York City, it's the Mecca, and we loved it. Cole had some fun with some certain people. Maybe we'll put some clips on, maybe we won't. We'll see.
whoa, that sounds bad.
Yeah, I wasn't talking about a sex tape or anything. That came out quite wrong, but yeah, no, it was a fun night. But I guess the main event was both literally and metaphorically. No, that's not right. The next night,
No, you could say that.
sure. Usman versus Covington 2.
Like
But
the main event of our trip was
yes, yeah,
metaphorically was UFC and the
yes,
main event of UFC.
exactly.
Yeah.
But really, it was the co-main event of the UFC because as long as Rose won, we were going to be happy, and she got the
Yeah.
job done. I can't
That's
stop
really
smiling because it was so awesome. It was amazing.
yeah.
Uh,
We also, hey, don't forget, we what did we do Saturday day? We went to that weird sky thing in New York where you could like
mhm.
see your reflection and you can see all the way down like 1,000 fucking feet, I don't know, meters, whatever. Um Probably 1,000 feet, and it was really cool. But you were supposed to bring glasses at the top, and I didn't, so I was like crying, like just like tearing because it was so bright, like out of control. So I just got the fuck out of there. Still got a nice photo though. Went down, got some Burgers Priest. I'm going
Well,
into a lot of
you
detail
did
here.
get Burgers Priest. What's the matter with you?
Shake Shack.
Jesus
Sorry.
Christ, what a moron!
Yeah,
Burger,
I have a cold. It's okay.
that's not fair. That's not an excuse. Shake Shack, don't ever disrespect. Best fast food burger on the planet. I've said that for a while
That's
now.
not true.
Yes, it is
No,
true.
it's not.
What tops it? What tops it?
I know there are so many burgers out there that top it. I've had one in Montreal that tops it.
Mm.
At Bar George, insane burger. Um,
Is it fast food?
That's a good point. That's a good point. But to be fair, there are better fast food burgers out there that you
Yeah,
haven't
name one.
experienced yet. Umami Burger in LA. Haven't tried it, but from what I've been told
All
by
you had to
many
say was
people,
LA,
it's
and
way better.
that's all I needed.
What?
Listen, the only one that people compare is In and Out, and I've had
No,
it.
In-N-Out doesn't deserve to be in the conversation, and neither does Five Guys. A lot of people include it in the conversation, but Five Guys and In-N-Out are a level below. Shake Shack, let alone what's above Shake Shack, which I can't even speak to because I have not tried them.
And because it doesn't exist. Anyways, yeah, let's talk about the fights real quick. I know it was almost 2 weeks ago, but we'll start with Ally Quinta. I mean, we both love him.
Wait, you have a video of you punching the thing, right?
I don't have it. Someone has it.
Do you want it to be shared?
Not really.
We you know that thing, the punching machine where you punch and you get your score on it. We did that at the UFC fights. It's kind of cool. They had it set up. I don't think any of us, did particularly well.
Cole, you did fine. Cole,
yeah,
Cole.
well, I had to use a left hook because my right shoulder's fucked and my left thumb is still sprained, so I couldn't even I still went hard.
It was a good punch.
I still went for it.
Ally Quinta, probably his last
fight. Here it is
fight.
now.
Cole, do a normal one. Come on.
No.
Why your left hand? That was better. Yeah, that was good.
What?
Okay, and we're back to the fights.
Ally Quinta announced that was probably his last fight, which is sad because it wasn't his best performance, to say the least. And, who doesn't love Al?
That was a bad... I will say, I got to the fights early. They were at a dinner. It was... I have an allergy to paint. I don't know if I've shared this with you guys. If there's a place this hit me out of nowhere 2 years ago. Like, God was just like, hey, you're enjoying life. Here you go, bitch. And now I'm allergic to paint fumes. And that same chemical is in detergent, some shit, a bunch of shit. Doesn't matter. What's irrelevant about that is that they were at a dinner willing to miss the prelims of the fights in New York that we went there for. They were at a dinner. I was like, no way. I'm missing.
Is that a knock on me? No. That's not a knock on choice. And B, I missed 2 fights. Big deal. I got there for Dustin Jacoby's fight. Okay. I recall you going to UFC 206 and you didn't even see a single prelim except for Nikita Krylov versus Misha Serkinov. You were there for 6 fights and it was your birthday present. So don't talk shit about me.
The thing is, though, those tickets were not nearly as expensive as these ones. And because I was paying the amount that I paid for these tickets, I was not willing to miss anything. So I went early. And I said the restaurant was painted. Did I call? Who knows? But anyway, I saw the first couple fights. It was cool. The stadium was like, it was actually not as empty as I expected it to be. But I made friends with the ticket dude. What are they called? What are they called? Those ticket
concierge?
People? Huh?
Concierge?
No, you're thinking of concierge at a hotel.
Oh.
I don't fucking know. Who cares? To the tip of my tongue, but I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. So yeah, I made friends with him, and I was able to go sit in the front row, watch a couple fights. He's right; he didn't really miss much. But then let's get into the good stuff.
Okay, well, Michelle Pahea.
Wait, what?
Michelle Pahea?
Alex Pahea?
Oh fuck! It's the morning. Alex Pahea looked awesome. I mean, not really though, because he did lose the first round, but he did get a phenomenal finish in the second round with a flying knee. I would
know what? I think it's more impressive that he still got the knockout after the first round of being wrestled.
Yeah.
Because the thing is, he's got the cardio and the wrestling defense, or at least wherewithal to get up when he's taken down, to eventually get that knockout that he knows will come if he's patient. So he said going into this fight, as long as he's patient, he knows he'll get the win. And I mean, hey, Andreas Mikulid, whatever the fuck his name is, he's a good wrestler. He's a good fighter. Obviously, there are better, and there will be more tougher tasks for Pahea going forward. I'm sure, especially because they want to throw the wolves at him because Israel's already built up as a superstar, and they don't want to risk Alex Pahea getting there and beating him. But then again, it makes for a good storyline. He's beaten Israel twice in kickboxing. I think one was a knockout. I know one was a knockout. I just don't know if the other one was.
Yeah, the one where he got knocked out, Izzy was winning. I just want to say though, Cole, you have people like Brendan Schaub saying he needs 3 wins and then he's getting a title shot. No, that's not true. He needs a lot more.
I see what he means because they are gonna, they're gonna shoot him up there. But I say at least 4 fights before a title.
Yeah, at least he's gonna have 1 more unranked opponent at least, and then probably a top 15 and 2 top 10s.
It depends on the way the middleweight
how the
Yeah.
middleweight picture looks like.
You know what? That's a good point because Izzy really is running through everyone. If he beats
Yeah.
Whitaker for a second time, I guess he fights the winner of Cannonier Brunson. But then after that, who does he fight? I mean, Till, if he can get a win going, like, I don't know.
Till wants to fight Cannonier.
Well, Till's fighting Strickland, it looks like.
No, it was it's a bullshit article because I was listening to the episode of Believing Me yesterday. Till said he wants to fight Cannonier, but he's also down to fight Strickland. So the article should have been Till versus like Cannonier. Yeah, I don't understand. But either way, both those fights would be good. Smarter fight would be Cannonier, of course. Darren Till was injured in his last fight against Brunson, so I'm hoping that was one of the reasons he was, dealt with so easily. Because hey, look how it went between him and Robert Whitaker. That was a close fight,
very close.
So I'm not counting Darren out yet. Alex Pereira, I'm sure it could be a similar situation as Khamzat. Obviously Khamzat's more dominant, but they'll probably both be shot up there. And then what fight was after that?
Then we had our first main card bout, which was it was all right. Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. Wasn't my favorite fight of the night. Just kidding. It was fucking insane. It was electric.
All the fights were insane. Even Nasruddin Imavov, Edin Shabazian, like that was crazy.
Yeah, they all were, but there was something different about this. The atmosphere, I've never seen anything like it in all of sports. We've both been to playoff games in, baseball, hockey, basketball. I've never seen anything like this before.
We've never even been to like a Premier League game or an NFL game. Those are like the
I can't imagine. I just can't imagine, besides maybe the Super Bowl or the World Cup, final matches, anything being as crazy as this was.
No, like people die in the stands in average soccer games because, like, obviously that's an exaggeration, but like every soccer game is just as wild as, maybe not MSG. I don't know. I'm speaking out of my ass here. It's definitely a debate. I can say that.
Okay. Justin Gaethje looked great, Cole. You have guys like Khabib saying,
"You're skipping over Ian Gary. We forgot about Ian Gary."
And what was next?
I know, and I'm an idiot. I just realized.
We'll come back to him. Relax.
No. Let's just give him his little shout out and then go in order. Ian Gary on the early prelims, I believe. Yeah. Insane performance. He wasn't looking that great right
early prelims, I don't believe. I think he was the opener of the main prelims, but yeah.
I think Nasruddin and Edmund were opening of the main prelims. They weren't.
I think it went. Oh, I think you're right. Actually, I think you're. I don't know.
No. I am right. Regardless, he had an insane performance. He came out looking a little scary to me because I really wanted him to win. But then he got comfortable, started, figuring out Jordan Williams, and then he said something about how in training camp they noticed watching tape that Jordan Williams would move his head like this, like boom, 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 like every second. And in the moment at the time, just before he knocked him out, he realized Jordan Williams isn't moving his head. He's not doing what he normally does. It's just right there. So he just waited for the counter right, slipped and then went in for that shot and boom, out cold. He's got power, he's got accuracy, and he's got a personality.
Okay, let's move on back to Gaethje Chandler. Shout out to Ian Gary, but Cole, I mean, they both looked amazing, and even though Chandler lost, I mean, that's the best kind of loss you can hope for. He didn't get finished, and he made a shit ton of money most likely, and he gained a lot of leverage.
I just think it's so funny that the first fight was Michael Chandler versus Justin Gaethje.
Yeah, crazy.
Like, what?
So Michael Chandler, I mean, well, let's talk about Justin Gaethje. So obviously Khabib's put out a couple tweets saying his boy Islam Makhachev, who just got his first big win over Dan Hooker on short notice. Dan Hooker came in. That Islam should be next for the title. He's a 9-fight win streak. Yeah, there's a case, but at the same time, why? Why over Gaethje? Wait, why over Gaethje, who just beat Chandler, okay, and lost to Khabib, but on 2 judges' scorecards, won the first round, and probably should have been fighting Oliveira for that vacant title to begin with. Islam is ranked 5, Justin's ranked 2, okay? Gaethje puts on exciting fights. Islam's amazing, don't get me wrong, but he needs at least one more to get back in there, and that one more should be against Beneil Dariush, who also should deserve the title shot over Islam. He has a 7-fight win streak with wins over Tony Ferguson and Diego Ferreira. Tell me that's not better than Dan Hooker. I think it is. Dominant wins.
I agree with you. I think because of Ali Abdelaziz, Wait, he also represents Beneil Dariush, actually.
He represents all three. It's
Yeah,
not.
but I guess he's closer with obviously Khabib than there for Islam, just personally. But I think this is a really interesting, like the way the lightweight division is playing out right now. It's actually very interesting because, yeah, if they are looking for another title challenger after Oliveira Poirier, the obvious answer is Gaethje. But if they're not, I mean, I would actually be okay with seeing Gaethje against Dariush for the fight for the title contender fight. But the thing
They
is,
they're friends. I don't
yeah,
think they
that's
fight
what I
over
was about to say.
the belt.
That's the
Also,
thing, but that's also something you gotta like. They know they're gonna
I
probably
agree,
have
but
to
it's
fight.
not necessary right now. It doesn't make sense. Like, it makes sense, but there's other things that make more sense. If that was the only fight to make, fine. Islam versus Dariush. Gaethje fights the winner of Oliveira Poirier, and the winner of Dariush Makhachev gets the winner of that whole shenanigan. And there you go.
The thing is,
Meanwhile, Conor gets
what
a
did you
comeback
think?
fight, maybe against Nate, a trilogy. Who knows? Maybe against Tony. Make Michael Chandler versus RDA. Dan Hooker versus fucking, I don't know, Gillespie, and then you got your fucking lightweight division sorted out. You got Fiziev versus Riddell coming up. Bobby Green, just with a big win, maybe he fights someone like the winner of Alex Hernandez versus Renato Moicano. There's just you got to keep it flowing. And in the lightweight and the welterweight division specifically, these fighters are all calling for title shots. It's not like, I get it, Islam. You won 9 in a row, but against who? Against who? Okay, like, I don't even think he should be ranked. It just doesn't make sense. Like, he beat Thiago Moises, who's ranked 14, and then he went and beat Dan Hooker. Amazing, but it was on short notice. Like, who's ranked 6? Like, great, one more at least.
Yeah,
One more.
honestly, and also, what did you think about the actual fight between Justin Gaethje and Michael Chandler? Because like it was crazy, but I feel like Michael Chandler just had a terrible game plan. He was literally like just walking his face into punches. His hands were down. He
Say his
started.
game plan was bad, because that probably wasn't his game plan. He probably got
You're
carried
right. You're right. He should have gone for the wrestling in the first round when they were
away.
dry.
He did.
But no, he didn't.
He shot for takedowns in the first round.
Yeah, like towards the end.
Okay, it's still the first round.
Yeah, but that first round is not gonna leave anybody dry. So
yeah, good point.
You got to go at the start when you're fresh and when you're dry. So anyway,
a lot closer than I think people let on it to be.
I agree.
I think Chandler definitely won the first, and Gaethje obviously won the second. I gave the third to Gaethje as well, but it was competitive. I think it's 2-1 Gaethje, pretty clear.
Yeah, and the reason I find it so interesting is that Poirier's beaten Gaethje before. Honestly, I think Poirier will beat Gaethje again, if they fight. I think he's just, Gaethje's striking's great, but Poirier is a dog. He's not afraid of anyone like most people would be of Gaethje. I think he beats Gaethje. But the thing is, I think Gaethje beats Oliveira.
Yeah, I think they both beat Oliveira.
And I think Oliveira beats Poirier.
Interesting.
So okay. I think it's a very interesting little game of tag in the top of the division right now, and I want to see how it plays out, because obviously I don't know if I'm right, but I'm excited.
So essentially, you think that if everything plays out the way it should, Justin Gaethje will be the champion next year? Yeah, I mean, it's one of those divisions where I think we're going to see all these guys get the belt at some point, hopefully. What can I say? I just like seeing people's dreams come true. I just want everyone to get a taste of that gold. How can you not?
Well, I mean, hey, Poirier and Oliveira have had it. Give it to Gaethje just for a bit.
Poirier hasn't had it.
That's true.
Poirier needs it the most. Poirier deserves.
I can't believe Poirier hasn't been champ.
He was the interim champ, but yeah, let's move on. I mean, Shane Burgos.
I'm taking it back. Poirier beats Oliveira. I'm sorry. I'm too biased. I love him.
Shane Burgos, Billy Quarantillo. What a fight, but so overshadowed by the fight prior and Gaethje Chandler. I mean, the crowd wasn't really picking up on how good of a fight this was till the third and final round. It was unfortunate. I felt bad for the guys, but nevertheless, they both look good. Shane Burgos gets the win. Hopefully, we get to see him fight a top 10 opponent next. We got to move on quickly. Is there anything you want to say about that?
Yeah, it was a good fight. I don't really have much to say about it. I think they both looked really good, but they're not. I think they're B level. I don't think they're A level. As good as the featherweight division is, I think it's probably featherweight now is top 2 in my opinion, alongside bantamweight. I know people would dispute that, but like the top of the division is crazy. Max Holloway, Ortega, Volkanovski, Yair. And then if you look at the bottom, you still have undefeated fighters like, Bryce Mitchell, Evliov,
Tapiria.
sorry?
Ilya Tapiria.
Yeah, that's the guy I was going to say next. It's a crazy division. And yeah, I am just excited to see what comes with those guys. I'm a big Billy Quarantillo fan. It was a really sad night for New York, not going to lie. Gian lost, Al lost, Frankie lost.
Yeah.
Billy, Shane and Quarantillo are both from New York, but still.
Yeah. Then we had Marlon Vera versus Frankie Edgar. I thought Frankie was going to win this fight, and he came close to doing so. He had a great game plan. Honestly, his boxing looked great. Obviously not very powerful against Marlon, who can take a shot, and I don't believe he's ever been finished. But that front kick with a minute and a half left. Frankie says it was an early stoppage. No, that was right.
It was a perfect stoppage. Vera winning. I was really hoping it wasn't going to be by KO, but
I didn't like Cheeto chirping Frankie. Like, what the fuck, man? Have some respect. That's a legend.
He apologized. He said he was just in the fight in the moment. He said, "I'm sorry if I disrespected you. I love." Like he made up for it.
Okay.
Still not
I think
my
Cheeto.
Favorite. Sorry, yeah. I'll go. Still not my favorite personality in the sport, Cheeto. There's nothing like particular. He's not like a bad guy. There's nothing particularly bad about him. I just, I've seen the way he goes about things, and he's not my favorite. But good for Cheeto. Like, yeah, he's friends.
I don't find myself cheering for him too often, if I'm being honest.
Yeah. Same.
Also, I think if O'Malley beats Paiva, I believe that's how you pronounce it, which is a big step up for O'Malley in competition, believe it or not. If he defeats him in December, I believe that rematch is next.
I think Vera is better than Paiva.
Oh, I agree. I'm just saying a step up in competition from Chris Moutinho.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, and Thomas Almeida.
That's not a step up in competition. That's like saying you're in training camp because you're punching the bag that you're going to have a step up in competition.
Okay, idiot.
He was just practicing.
Anyways, O'Malley Vera 2 if O'Malley can get the job done.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the co-main event. Rose Namajunas defeats Zhang Weili for the second time, this time by split decision. Scorecards were 48-47, 47-48, 49-46. I honestly, people saying, this is the thing, when people say like, oh, how could it be 49-46? Because you see 49-46 and you're thinking, did Rose win 80% of that fight? And no, she didn't. But there were, out of 5 rounds, 4 of them can logically be given to Rose. I only gave 3 to her. I gave 2, 4, and 5 to her. But I think what would be more ridiculous is Zhang winning, because literally out of the first 3 rounds, they were all competitive, whereas Rose's 2 rounds that she secured were not competitive whatsoever. So all you need to do is give Rose one of those first 3, and you have yourself the same champion as you did before. So anyone saying robbery in terms of Zhang winning, which you don't see a lot in person, but I've seen it in the comments, just ridiculous. It's not a robbery at all.
I think Zhang's the toughest test in the division, and I think because she was able to do that, you can get the win. I think Rose is going to be our champ for a while now. Esparza is a tough test because she lost to her in the past, but I think she just improved so much, like Rose, that it's not going to be much of a challenge for her. Aside from that, we still have like younger fighters up and coming that could present troubles, like Amanda Ribas has been looking great. Marina Rodriguez, who beat Amanda Ribas. Kenzie Dern is still down there. She's still got some ways to go to get to the level where she can compete with Rose, but that's an exciting division, actually. Like I'm
Ivana Suarez decides to move down to strawweight. Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I will say, in a perfect world, I think this would have been scored 48-47 by all judges. But I understand because of the way the UFC works and the way the judges work, just based on precedent, it makes sense. It was a split decision.
I think the judges' scorecards were fine.
Yeah, but like that's because we know how the judges are. If they were perfect, it would be 48-47 across the board.
Yeah, I think 2, 4, and 5 rows. Yeah, let's talk about. I mean, Cole, personally, Esparza is the next big thing because obviously that's the only former champion Rose has been, and that was her really the most devastating loss of her career, Rose. But she's evolved so much. Then again, so is Carla. I'm a little worried just because of the wrestling. I think Rose will do fine, but we saw Zhang, how good she was in the wrestling department in this fight. So I hope Rose can keep it on the feet and use her submissions from her back if she does get taken down. Yeah, I hope Rose wins that, because nothing against Carla, but you got to start looking at this girl. She's clearly the best strawweight of all time. She beat Joanna Ann Wheely twice, Andrade, Tisha Torres, Angela Hill, Michelle Watterson, Paige Van Zant. She's the best strawweight of all time.
I see what you're saying, and I agree. I'm scared of her wrestling as well. But then again, Weili was already a good wrestler, and then she spent a training camp with Cejudo longer than just the training camp. Like she's been in the States for a while, so you could see her wrestling improved. Her takedowns, she was using that trip like Cejudo always does. I wish I knew the technicalities of it to explain it more, but I do not. But yeah, I think she'll be able to stop the takedowns, or at least the majority of them, against Carla, and maybe even get the knockout.
Yeah, I hope so. I think so too. That's how I see it going. Let's talk about main event. Kamaru Usman defeats Colby Covington unanimous decision 48-47 twice and 149-46. I thought Kamaru won. I thought he looked great, but I think it's enough with we'll get into the GOAT welterweight conversation in the middle.
We'll get into it right now, but let's just say, run second, was Kamaru taken down?
Yeah, but he's taken down as it should be counted as a takedown, like considering how they count former takedowns, like how we've seen them in the past. Is there control? No, but technically it is a takedown. I think, but there wasn't, he didn't do anything with it. Like, it's the same thing you could say for literally, like Daniel Cormier, you'll see him get taken down, but then he pops right back up. Like, there's no damage.
Still should be counted as a takedown.
I agree. Yeah.
It's annoying it wasn't, but like, obviously I wanted Kamaru to win.
How'd you score the fight?
I think I had Kamaru for three rounds too.
Yeah, which three?
Round 1, round 3, and round 4.
No, round 2 was his best rounds.
Kamaru's?
Yeah, and he didn't.
So was it round 1, 2, and 5 that he won?
I had him 1, 2, and 3. I think some had him 1, 2, and 5. But yeah, I think the only round that Kobe clearly won was 4, whereas Kamaru clearly won 2 rounds, and then 3 and 5 were kind of up in the air. That's how I saw it.
But I also think one of Kamaru's rounds was a 10-8.
Yeah, well, there you go. I didn't score it a 10-8, but I can definitely see how you could. From a outside standpoint, overall, we know Kamaru won the fight, but if you're talking about point fighting, there is a case for Kobe, but even he didn't seem to make too big of one after the fight. He didn't seem shocked that he lost. But let's talk about the GOAT welterweight talks, because, Kamaru looked great in those first 2 rounds, but then you saw him get tagged and kind of outstruck by Kobe in those last 3 rounds a little bit and taken down, whether it was control or not. So, you don't really see it. Kobe's not a great striker. I feel like Usman's striking, he's fallen in love with it, and for sure he's improved, and he has power, but it's nowhere near as technically, sound as George St. Pierre's. Just go watch George's fights. Everything's perfect. I literally believe that George is better everywhere than Kamaru, except for maybe takedown defense. I think Kamaru's takedown defense is phenomenal, and perhaps strength, not strength.
Yeah, strength.
See, this is you being recency biased.
This is me being not an idiot.
Oh yeah, see, this is you being a cocky fuck.
Are you stupid?
I'm not stupid. George St. Pierre is one of those guys who
have you seen George St. Pierre?
Yeah, so once again, you think big muscles equivalent. Cole.
Equate.
Yes. George St. Pierre is stronger, if not the same strength. And whoever's stronger, it's not by much. You think I'm delusional here? Not at all. You think
Kamaru has to cut more weight. He's taller and he's bigger.
That's like so casual. You look at Kamaru's back muscles, he must be strong. Of course he's strong. George St. Pierre is one of those guys. They say when he gets a hold of you, you've never felt anything like it. Same thing with Khabib. It doesn't need to appear physically.
Okay, so he can have incredible top pressure and good hips. That's fine.
Not what I said.
Why?
Cole, you're being a smartass.
I'm not. There's no argument.
There really is an argument. I'm willing to have the argument. To say that Kamaru Usman is it's not a question, he's stronger, is outrageous. It's not true.
Kamaru's stronger. Okay, there's no conversation there.
He has bigger muscles, Cole. He must be.
This is funny.
It is funny.
No, he's not. Yes, he has bigger muscles, but the only reason that doesn't mean something is because of steroids or something like that. There's no steroids in his body. That's pure muscle, and that's pure. He's got cardio. It's real muscle. He's Like that's just there's no argument there. Muscle
There is
it
a
equates
complete
to strength.
argument. There's a
Muscle means
complete
strength.
argument.
You're
Okay,
you,
so
you,
okay, fine. You want to talk about muscle? Does it look like John Jones is a big muscular guy? Have you seen his legs? Have you seen anything? People
no,
say
he doesn't.
yeah, and he's stronger than pretty much every person in that division.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is. Cole.
No,
I'm trying to
you're
tell
just
you.
wrong. He's
Some
not
people
stronger.
just shut up for a minute. Some people have that raw natural strength. George St. Pierre has it. So does John Jones. Okay, so does Khabib Nurmagomedov. Okay, let's move on.
It's
There's
not
no
natural
one win this
strength.
argument.
It's natural. It's natural.
There's
It's wrestling ability.
Kamaru Usman is stronger than George St. Pierre. I wouldn't know. I've never seen them. I've never had a competition to see which one is. All I know is that it's close.
Your argument was based on the fact that muscle doesn't equal strength. Muscle does equal strength. There are some
I didn't say muscle equals strength. I said your whole argument is based on that, which is wrong.
Yeah. There are anomalies. There are anomalies of fighters who have natural strength.
Yes.
But when one is a champion as dominant and as highly ranked as Kamaru Usman.
You mean George St. Pierre, the one who's 4 more title defenses?
That's sure. We already have established that he's strong and very, very good at fighting and the welterweight GOAT. I'm not arguing that. I'm just arguing that Kamaru Usman is obviously at the point where he also has that natural strength on top of his appearance. So
they probably do. And guess what? George St. Pierre ain't as close in appearances either. Go look at George St. Pierre in his prime. You've never seen anything built like him. The only one who compares is Usman. I agree. They're both physically appear to be strong.
You think George St. Pierre's peak shape is comparable to Kamaru Usman's 100%. Peak shape? 100%. You're just very wrong.
Okay.
Like, you're just absolutely wrong. There's no one who's looking as good as Kamaru Usman in the UFC except for Francis Ngannou.
Incorrect.
No, you're just that's absurd. It's not even biased. It's stupidity. But if you asked,
better, I said it's comparable. If you
walked up to George St. Pierre today and said to him, "Who's stronger between you and your prime and Kamaru Usman right now?" He would laugh at you and say, "Have you seen me? Have you seen Kamaru?" Like that's what his answer would be.
See, that's not true at all.
Yes, it is.
It's not true, and he's one of the most humble people on the planet, and he still wouldn't say that. You're incorrect, but we're not going to go on because there's no winning this argument. I know you think you're right, and you're smirking at me.
I'm happy to move on because I don't feel that I'm wrong.
There is a comparison to be made between the two, and there's a chance Kamaru.
No, he's the GOAT. He's a better fighter overall.
I'm not talking about better fighter. I know that. I'm talking about who is the stronger, and both of them are very comparable. It is close. It's not even close that they're close. You know what I mean? It's not even a question that they're close in strength. Okay, to say they aren't is crazy. I give Kamaru the cardio is pretty equal. I'd say.
I think if Kamaru beats Leon and Khamzat, he's the GOAT.
If he beats Leon and Khamzat, I mean that's kind of tough to say because we haven't seen Khamzat fight anyone in the top 10. But yeah, sure. If he
by the time he fights Khamzat,
for most. Listen, if we're just talking about welterweight, if he ties or beats his record, 100%. But then you have to remember that George went up to middleweight after 4 years off and finished the champion.
I don't care about
Kamaru. Doesn't care
about titles.
Kamaru doesn't want to do that because him and his friend, who's the middleweight champion, happen to be from the same country, which holds hundreds of millions of people. So they're not going to fight.
Yeah, it's kind of strange, but it's because that they're from the same country and because they're both in the UFC, they made a connection, they became friends, so now they don't want to fight. It's not just because they're from the same country. And also, by the time Khamzat does get the opportunity to fight for the title against Kamaru, he will have beaten someone in the top 15 or top 10. So if it does happen, and if he does end up beating Leon and Khamzat, as a result, he will be the GOAT because Khamzat will have fought someone.
We'll see.
And I think it's possible. But again, he still has more improvements to make in his striking, not fundamentals, but understanding of striking technique to like angles and whatnot to catch up to George. But right now I do think his wrestling is in par, you know?
Let's talk about Holloway Rodriguez.
Okay, but first, before we get there, we do have to give some credit to a couple of fighters. Sorry?
Why couldn't
we do it after?
Yeah, I mean, I started talking.
Best for last. You have dessert after dinner. Sean Woodson, great KO against Colin Anglin. Really good boxer. He looks super dangerous. Andrea Lee, great performance against Cynthia Calvillo. I knew she'd win. I had her in all my bets, Andrea Lee. Yeah. Chaos Williams showing that he's not just a prospect. He can actually hold his own with other prospects. Miguel Beza looked very dangerous. up until this fight, yeah, he lost to Santiago Ponzinibbio, but I mean, that's Santiago. So, it doesn't mean Miguel Baeza is not
Close
good.
fight, yeah.
But yeah, Chaos. I mean, he's fucking scary. He's got that name for a reason. Real name Kalen, though, not to be mistaken. And then last but not least, Joel Alvarez. He is going to probably be a future champ of lightweight.
That's not, you can't say that. He's probably going to be a future champ in the most
He
stacked.
put on a better performance against Thiago Moises than Islam did.
And Islam's ranked 5.
Islam will be champ.
No. Let's talk about Holloway Rodriguez, Cole, because that was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. But I wasn't surprised. I mean, they had Holloway as a minus 650, minus 700. I get it, but at the same time, bro, yeah, he was out for 2 years, but he beat the Korean Zombie, knocked him out. He beat Jeremy Stevens, like really, really fucking good. I think that the odds should have been more like minus 400 at most. There's 2 judges scored 2 of the 5 rounds for Yair. I think I had it 4-1 for Max. What a fight. And, afterwards you hear Max calling out Cole. You hear him saying, I don't know what I want to do. I'm on the short list for Connor. I don't know what his deal is with that. I agree with Volkanovski with what he's like saying, like, bro, if you want to fight me, you earned it. Come. But at the same time, I don't need to fight you. I beat you twice. Do we think he won those fights? No, but the question is he got his hand raised. The answer is he got his hand raised. So you got to give it up to Volkanovski. He's done everything right. Like, it's not, I don't know why Holloway isn't like, I guess he's trying to be like, I don't care, but make that trilogy fight. We all want to see it. Max, if you want your legacy to be complete, go fight Volkanovski. You're both in your primes.
Don't be mistaken. Max wants that fight, and that's his next. That's what he's doing next. He knows that that's what everyone wants. He knows that Volkanovski wants it because he knows that Volkanovski knows that that's what the fans want, and so he's just playing a game. He's getting into Volkanovski's head, and it worked. If you saw Volkanovski's response, he's just not mentioning it because he knows Volkanovski will be pissed about it. He knows it's going to happen, and when it does. I mean, look at the only person who got in Volkanovski's head. Maybe it was his toughest fight, Mr. Ortega. So, yeah, and I don't agree about the minus 400. I think minus 700, 600, whatever he was, is reasonable. Just because Max put on an insane performance against Cater, made him look like a god. Obviously, we saw that wasn't the case when he faced someone like Yair, who didn't continue to make the same mistakes in the fight. Like Calvin Cater kept doing the same thing over and over again. But Holloway, and the other thing is Yair was out for 2 years. Like, we didn't know what he was going to look like. And he's
I was
going
also super impressed with his cardio.
Yeah, me too. He put on a great performance. I'm surprised. Like, honestly, because of how many shots Max has taken in his career and the fact that he gets hit, like, I wouldn't have been surprised if Yair knocked him out because Yair doesn't throw punches to get a lucky. Like, he doesn't get a lucky punch. He fucking throws sharp weapons like elbows, knees, and heels.
I think we have to see Ortega Yair.
Me too. I think that's what's next. I think that's the obvious fight.
And then I guess, Holloway gets the winner of Volkanovski. You have Arnold Allen saying he wants to fight the Korean Zombie. I think that should happen too. Agreed?
Yeah, I like that fight too. I love Arnold Allen. Such a nice guy.
Yeah, I hope. But I love Korean Zombie. I don't know who I'd cheer for in that one.
Arnold Allen, TriStar. He reminds me so much of Will too.
Yeah. I guess, I don't know. It would be tough. Okay. But you know who I am going to cheer for in this one? Stephen Thompson versus Bilal Muhammad, December 18th, co-main event, Lewis versus Dawkins. I'm excited for this one. I think Wonderboy gets the job done. Bilal's tough, but I think knockout Stephen Wonderboy Thompson.
Muhammad's got a fucking strong face. I don't know if he gets knocked out Thompson. I think he really, really needs it. Thompson needs to make a fucking statement, and unfortunately for him, because he's done it so many times, outclassing someone for 3 rounds isn't a statement for Thompson anymore, because that's what he does when he wins. So he really does need a really, spectacular finish, and I hope he gets it.
I don't think he needs a spectacular finish, but it would be like, okay, wait a minute. Wonderboy can still make a case for that title shot. A dominant performance, I think we'll probably realistically see, because Bilal's super tough, so is Wonderboy, is probably going to be like, okay, so Steven's still there, maybe 1 or 2 more, and we'll give him the title shot. But if he goes out there and knocks out Bilal, you can talk about a number 1 contenders fight, because everybody is fighting Usman except for Thompson.
Thompson. The thing is, Thompson. I don't know if Kamaru beats Thompson, just because I don't know if Kamaru would stick to he must stick to his wrestling. I mean, there's no other option to approach that fight. For Muhammad, I don't think, like, while he's great at grappling, good at takedowns, but I don't think he has enough pressure and is good enough at wrestling to beat Thompson. Like, there are guys like Kobe or Kamzat or Kamaru that I'd be more scared of because they're like very good at wrestling, whereas Muhammad is just one of his better skills. And then, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited for that fight. Let's go Thompson. He's looking old, but
He's not
hopefully
looking old.
Huh?
He's not looking old.
I mean, his body looks different than it did a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Let's talk about some bad news. Masvidal out of his fight against Edwards. At this point, yeah, you got to give Leon the title shot. I mean, unless you can rebook it right away, but it looks like they're going to do Usman Edwards 2 March or April.
Yeah, as
It's good because I can't listen to Leon bitch anymore. Just get it over with.
Neither can I. I fucking hate that guy. I'm sorry. I don't hate him. He just annoys me.
So unlikable.
Yeah, like, come on, man. I watched him on Joe Rogan. I'm like, you can be likable. Like, you can be. It's so easy for you to be. And he just continues to make the same fucking mistakes.
Yeah,
like Cater.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think Usman gets it done. I think the key to this fight is Usman not striking. Usman cannot fall in love with his striking again in this fight.
Just like don't get carried away.
He needs to constantly threaten the takedown if he's not going for it.
Yeah.
And I think Thompson would beat Edwards easy.
Nothing's easy against Edwards, but I think Wonderboy beats everyone.
No, because Edwards would strike.
Yeah, and Edwards is phenomenal on the feet.
Yeah, but Thompson's Thompson.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. Okay, he might not strike, though. Edwards might go for the wrestling in that fight. But let's talk about...
But again, not a wrestling specialist, so I don't think it'll work.
Yeah. Glover Teixeira, Yuri Prochazka. Grappler versus striker, kind of. Yeah, I mean, we haven't had a podcast since Glover won the belt. That was one of the feel-good moments of the year.
Amazing.
Moreno and Rose. Yeah, holy shit. Yeah, I'm excited. I think, I don't know who wins that fight, Teixeira or Yuri. I think Yuri's wrestling is his weakness. We saw Reyes take him down.
That's what I was going to say.
Either one could win. I love Yuri, but I want to see Glover win. I don't know.
Glover wins. He doesn't waste his time punching trees 500 times a day. That wasn't even a joke. But yeah, Teixeira takes him down. If Reyes can, who's not even like he was a football player and then transitioned to MMA and started wrestling and striking. Doesn't have a wrestling base. He's good, of course. Look what he did against John Jones, but Teixeira is another question. Like that's another thing on its own. Like DC says Teixeira's pressure on the ground is insane, which just tells you that Teixeira has held Cormier down before.
What?
That's enough.
Not true.
Yeah. There's no that you think that if they were to train together that every single time 10, yeah, of course.
Oh, are you sure?
You think,
Cormier and Teixeira?
Yeah.
You know that?
You think 10 to 10 times that Teixeira hasn't I mean, sorry, 10. You would assume.
Oh, for sure, Teixeira's found success. Yes.
Yeah.
Teixeira is actually an interesting matchup for DC. That would be interesting. I think DC would win. He's the better fighter, but yeah, interesting. Speaking of the light heavyweight division, Thiago Santos versus Magomed Ankalaev scheduled for the first main event of Ankalaev's career, March 12th, 2022. What a main event. That's a banger. I'm cheering for Thiago, but I think Ankalaev.
Putting the house on Ankalaev.
Yeah, you gotta. And if Ankalaev wins this, you gotta think title shot next or maybe one more. Either one. He'll be right there.
Yeah, I think it'll be Ankalaev versus Teixeira afterwards.
Yeah.
Well, you still have Anthony Smith and what's his face to
but they're not fighting now. It looks like they're gonna do Blachowicz Rakic, which is interesting. And if Rakic wins that, you have to give him the title shot.
I don't know. There have been talks about Smith. Smith's out for a bit. That's the only issue. But Smith has also been in contact with Jan.
Yeah, I heard that too. But now the most recent report is Jan Blachowicz versus Alexander. Which is a fight. Hopefully they can do it in Europe.
All right, on to the next booking, or not booking, but suspected fight, targeted fight. Gilbert Burns versus Khamzat Chimaev.
Yes, that's what it seemed like. January was what they were thinking, but now it's looking like Gilbert's Yeah, I think it'll happen later in the year. He's like, I want to fight Neil Magny. They said he was ranked too low, and they're saying the same thing for Khamzat. So I think they might do Neil Magny versus Khamzat, and the winner fights Gilbert. But that's kind of dumb because Gilbert won't fight Luque. So, like, what do you do with Gilbert? There's literally no one else.
Yeah, I don't know what they're like. I don't even know if they have a plan. Like, I don't even know if they discuss it.
They probably do. It's just probably a shitty one.
Yeah, I don't know.
UK versus Nate, Burns versus Chimaev, and Wonder Boy Muhammad winner versus Chiesa Brady winner, Masvidal Covington, and do Neil Magny versus the winner of Jeff Neal and Santiago Ponzinibbio.
Yeah,
Jeff Neal.
I think. Who do you think wins this fight? Is another question. Is Gilbert Burns' jiu-jitsu good enough to?
I believe so. I believe. Yeah. I don't know. It's a pick'em in my opinion. Comes at being a minus 310 favorite is ridiculous, like appalling, because Gilbert is like a really tough matchup for him. Great jiu-jitsu, great hands, great wrestling. And I say great because look what he did to Wonder Boy.
The thing is, from what I've seen Gilbert Burns lose, that's the biggest play. That's the biggest factor here, because from what I know of Khamzat, the performances I've seen, I mean, he looks like a god. He looks like a mystical creature. And then from what we hear about his training camp is that he's so good that he can only train with light heavyweights, because anyone lighter just gets ragdolled. And he still bests the light heavyweights, such as Alexander Gustafsson. So I don't know what to think. I am blinded by the hype of Khamzat. So I have Khamzat. Maybe it'll tell, what will tell more to me today is the pay-per-view event, him versus Jack Hermanson grappling. I think Jack Hermanson's jiu-jitsu is like, in terms of how it would translate to MMA, is just as good, if not better, than Burns.
No.
And because of that, Burns is a jiu-jitsu world champion. Pure jiu-jitsu in gi, Burns is better than Hermanson.
I think,
but
Burns
MMA grappling,
well,
I don't. But I think it'll tell a lot, because then again, Hermanson's also bigger than Burns. So if Khamzat beats Hermanson today, I have Khamzat.
Yeah, fair enough. Umar Nurmagomedov versus Jack Shore, March 12th, I believe. Very good fight. Excited?
I am. I think this is a really good fight. I think it's a stupid booking because they're both up and coming prospects, but clearly they want to throw Nurmagomedov away and keep Jack Shore, because both of them have incredible grappling. Hold on, give me 1 second, because I just want to see in his last fight if he was taken down, and clearly he was not. Okay, so yeah, Jack Shore, I think, wins this fight. His striking is just way better than Umar's, and both of them have incredible grappling, and neither of them have been taken down in the UFC.
Umar's the cousin, correct?
Yes.
Is it a first cousin? Who knows? Okay, yeah, I'm going to go with Jack Shore on this one. Do you want to talk about Soriano and Maximov?
I really don't know who Nick Maximov is. I think he trains with Diaz, the Diaz brothers. But I mean, Soriano's fucking, he's great. I've got him winning.
Fair enough. Sakai versus Tuivasa rescheduled for UFC 269. Very excited for that. Big test for Tai Tuivasa. If he wins it, he'll probably break into the top 10. That was supposed to happen this weekend, but we still have a pretty good card this weekend. Not an amazing main event, but pretty stacked for a fight night. And then Kevin Lee suspended for 6 months and fined almost 20 grand for testing positive for Adderall. Who gives a fuck? No one.
Yeah, that's interesting. If he was taking Adderall and he was supposed to be, I feel like the UFC would have already known about that. So the fact that he just started taking it out of nowhere without informing the UFC is very strange. I mean, obviously the fine is a lot, and so is the suspension for what it is. But I mean, that's the price you pay for being an idiot, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Not that Kevin Lee is an idiot.
No.
Sorry, he's a great guy, but it was a dumb move. Dumb move.
That too. Yeah, I think I don't care. Let's talk about Henry Cejudo, who had a baby and named it America. I'm sorry, baby.
I knew a long time ago. He said he made a post or something like that he was going to name his baby America. I thought it was a joke. It's really fucking stupid.
Like,
Yeah, I mean,
get the fuck out of here, buddy.
yeah, honestly, I don't even understand. I don't know why Anna Carolina,
Mexican American, but
his wife, who's Brazilian, I don't know why she'd be okay with that.
out the dough.
But hey, I mean, Cejudo won a gold medal for his country. Now he won a baby for his country too, I guess.
America should name their baby Cejudo.
Yeah, they have. Henry Cejudo.
He's been training with John Jones, which is kind of bizarre. I think he just wants the world to hate him. First, the enemy of Rose, then the enemy of Brandon Moreno, and now, I actually like Stipe a lot, but I don't know what the fuck. And Daniel Cormier.
What's gonna happen there?
Cormier was like, yeah.
Stipe and John in the same gym.
Oh yeah, what the fuck's that? I didn't even put that together. What the fuck?
There's a lot going on. Like, also, this is Jackson's other affiliate gym. So he's going against Winklejohn, who kicked him out of his gym. But then what about Jackson Wink? Like, are they fighting? Like, what's going on? Or did Winklejohn only decide to kick him out for business reasons because he has kids going there to train, and like the parents are like not okay with having someone who fucking beat their wife in
Winklejohn. Yeah, like fuck.
Sorry?
Like, you get mad at Winklejohn.
Yeah, no, John's an idiot for being mad at Winklejohn. Winklejohn had to do what he had to do.
Yeah.
Like, stop involving, whether or not it's true or not, stop involving yourselves in those situations over and over again so that people think that way of you, because Winklejohn has his primary source of income is kids coming in to train at his gym, and their parents are the ones to decide where they train and how much they pay for their kids to train. And they're not going to do that if they know that there's a wife beater in the gym at all times.
Yeah, I agree. Francis
and
Ngannou.
Yeah, on top of that, I just want to say that John Jones, like, I don't know what he's going to get. He's not going to learn much from Cejudo, I don't think, but I guess it's good that he has a place where he can train.
And with good training partners.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Francis Ngannou. Speaking of training partners, is now with that kickboxer guy. What's his name? Rico.
Oh, sorry. I skipped. That's what I was going to say. I skipped over something you said, the DC thing.
Oh, yeah. DC said, hey, what the fuck, Henry? And people were thinking that's because...
No, he said, fuck you, Henry Cejudo.
He did?
Or fuck Henry Cejudo.
Well, good, because I think he first said that because, like, people were thinking, oh, he's saying that because, you know, John and DC are rivals, and DC and Cejudo were teammates, and, you know, it's just, like, kind of disloyal. But then I think what people are really saying is he's saying it because, aside from the rivalry, why are you training with this piece of shit? What are you trying to promote?
Yeah. Like, Cejudo and DC are friends. Like, they're friends. They're on the wrestling team together. Like, DC, he cares about Cejudo. He always has. So for Cejudo to do this, I guess it's not like, it's one thing for John Jones to go, but it's another thing for Cejudo to post about it and like boast about it. And I think he should have talked to DC. Obviously, do you think DC's serious? Like, do you think he's just joking around?
I don't know. I think a little bit of both.
Because, like, fuck Henry Cejudo.
Yeah.
Like, he could have said so many things. He could have said something that was more clearly a joke, but fuck Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, I don't know. It's tough. It's tough to, yeah, I don't know. I think it's like,
it's DC, so I doubt.
It's like, fuck Henry Cejudo.
Yeah, I doubt he really, really cares. I feel like it's kind of similar to the way that
Helwani he only wasted 3 words on his tweet. Like, that's how much he cares.
I think it's the same way that Helwani feels about DC.
Why does he not like DC?
He's mad at DC.
Why?
It's really funny. In his office, there's a doll, the pop head. It's knocked down right now, and a lot of fighters come on and say, "I think your thing's knocked down right now." He goes, "No, it's supposed to be knocked down." And they say, "Who is it?" It's DC. He's like, "Why do I have it?" DC? He doesn't reveal it. I think it has to do with something between ESPN or something. Like I think they were
right. Like,
no, I think Ariel's like actually sincerely upset with DC, but like not to the point where it's going to ruin their friendship. But there's definitely a tiny little rift right now, I think.
Fair enough. Let's talk about.
But hey, I don't know shit.
Let's talk about the fights this weekend.
No.
Ngannou.
Yeah, not only Ngannou, but Conor McGregor.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much to say about Conor other than chill the fuck out, heal up. I still think he's amazing, but there's something going on. I mean, when he took that video of Muhammad, what's his name? Bilal Muhammad and Anthony Smith. What the fuck is that? It's so funny.
I think the two things I have a few things to say about Conor right now. One, stop beefing everyone. Like,
yeah, like
chill the fuck
is like
out.
the worst person to beef. Everyone.
Yeah. Like poor like, why are you going after Chael? Like, poor Chael. Let him do his job. That's his job, to like make strange claims.
Conor McGregor.
Show.
What did he call him? A rich little weirdo.
Yeah, it's funny.
Conor went, better than a broke little weirdo.
Yeah, he sets up his tripod for his podcast. But like, honestly, hey, he's got a good thing going, and all he needs is a tripod. That's pretty impressive. He doesn't even have a full team. Anyway, where was that video of Conor walking back and forth, like sizing up the fight with Holloway was on screen?
I don't know. First of all, that is the worst fight for Conor to take right now. Like, enough. Like, stop. Yeah. Like, what do you need a win in your next
also,
fight?
Also, wow, did he like hand his phone to his wife? Just like, film this for 1 second.
Yeah.
And where was his back tattoo?
Yeah, and what was that shitty living room? I thought he's like a fucking multi-millionaire.
Yeah, pretty small TV.
Yeah. Anyways,
I feel like he's in an Airbnb right now.
Yeah.
But he looks like he's in incredible shape.
Oh,
yeah.
People underestimate Conor. He's ranked 9 right now.
And
watch
as bad
he comes back.
As many things as we have to as many negative things that we have to say about Conor, he did leave Ian Gary a voicemail or voice message after his fight, and it was classic Conor. It was old Conor. It was the one we loved. He shined through. You could tell he was a little intoxicated because he was. It was like 90% Ian Gary with like little hints of Conor complimenting himself, and then the last 10%, it was just Conor telling Ian Gary, "I'm coming back. I'm gonna kill everybody."
He gets carried away.
Yeah, it's funny.
Let's talk about the fights.
No, it's Francis. What the
fuck? He's training with a kickboxer. Next.
Not a kickboxer. The greatest heavyweight kickboxer of all time, Rico Verhoeven. That's dangerous. I don't know if it. I mean, it will make a difference in the fight, but I think it comes down to Ciryl Gane's like footwork and speed. Like, I think he's just going to be able to stay away. I think he's not. The other thing with Francis Ngannou is everyone walks in there terrified. Like, there's no way to walk into a fight against Francis not terrified, because you know that it's gonna go one of two ways: you win or you get knocked out. There's no decision.
There's no you lose a close decision. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is, Ciryl Gane's technically been in there with Francis, so he doesn't have that fear.
Yeah, I don't think Gane's scared. He's got a great mental game.
But how
he fought Rosenstrike and Lewis, who have insane amounts of power, and he's just like, "Yo, what's going on?"
Exactly.
I'm gonna do my little butterfly dance and get the fuck out of here with my winning check.
Yeah, it's either going to be a very boring fight or a very exciting fight.
Yeah,
we're going to see Francis knockouts.
If Gane wins, I'd love to see Gane get a finish.
He's not. Ciryl Gane's going to win by decision. It is 5 rounds, right?
Yeah, I think
it's a championship. Okay, yeah, Ciryl could get a finish. I would honestly say it would probably be by leg kicks, or at least as a result of leg kicks that have added up.
Yeah,
but I think it's going to be a boring decision by Gane, who stays on the outside, just plays it safe, or Francis knocks him out. But I got Gane. But it also, how perfect was that video of him walking past his old coach.
Put my Haymakers video in. You're gonna see it right now.
No, you're not. We weren't talking about that. You're gonna see Francis walk by his old coach Ferdinand and Ciryl Gane. I will. And here it is now. All right, we're back. How funny was that? Like, it was like the camera guy knew it was coming, and Francis too. Like, Francis had to know that there was a camera guy there. He had to know that his coach was there. He had to know that Ciryl was there.
Is like Gane's coach is laughing, but Gane's just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It's so funny. It looks scripted. Gane's an asshole for that. Like, such an ass.
He is. I'm actually not a big fan of Ngannou. He's like gotten very cocky.
Yes.
Very quickly.
Yeah, like he humbled a bit after he lost to Stipe and Lewis, and he was likable again. But then he got this cocky attitude ever since. Like, it's just annoying me. Like, Africa, he's like, Africa has its 3 champions, its 3 sons. It's like, enough already.
Yeah, and I met a few fighters at the hotel after the fights. I went out with like a couple friends after the fights, and on my way home, I I was walking by the Stewart Hotel, which is where Ali Abdelaziz's clients stay in New York. So I was like, okay, I'll go in there, see what's up. Met a few guys who are big UFC fans all around the world. I thought they were like best friends, but turns out they weren't. I just joined them. We're talking, hanging out, waiting for fighters. Eventually, Francis came in, Ali Abdelaziz came in, Kayla Harrison came in, Frankie came in. Frankie looked so distraught. Like I couldn't even I couldn't find it in my heart to get up and ask him for a photo. I just wanted to give him a hug, and I think that would be pretty weird. And Ali Abdelaziz, fuck that guy. Not gonna ask him for shit. But Francis, I asked for a photo. He didn't ignore me, but you could tell he couldn't even get up the stairs to the lobby. He was hammered, like so hammered. And he tried avoiding us. Like we talked to him. He like kind of looked at us, but you could just tell he wasn't in the mood. And he walked like around and tried like hiding in the corner of the lobby where the vending machines are for a bit, probably just like gather himself. And Kayla Harrison came after him.
Imagine how much alcohol it takes to get him drunk.
I know. Well, I asked him for a photo, and Kayla's like, he's grumpy right now. It's not a good time. And I said, can I get a photo with you? And she's like considering it, and was like, please. And she goes, okay. And then she takes a photo with me.
Did he say no?
Huh?
She considered saying no?
I think so. I wish I had it on video, but I mean, she was happy to be in that photo. I got good.
Shut up! Not even the UFC or Bellator. Shut up.
No, but she knows. She knows her worth. But damn, that zipper was real low. If you guys want to take a look at the photo right here. Yeah, quite a low zipper. Anyway, cleavage.
Okay. Let's talk about.
Yeah, I was surprised. I mean, Kayla's as strong as she is, she can still gets cleans up nice.
Okay.
And last but not least, Jack. After the fights, we walked outside, and there was this guy holding a poster, filming videos. I didn't know who he was at first, but Jack.
It was Haymakers. Great Instagram. Second. It was Haymakers, the Instagram account, second best one in MMA behind MMA Island. Yeah, I mean, phenomenal. It was, I was in the video, and here it is.
I thought Usman won, but 49-46 was ridiculous.
There it was.
That was cool. You said some good stuff. Better than most in that video of his. So yeah, that was cool. And then afterwards, we walked down the street and we saw Bert Kreischer's tour bus, and he was drinking in the back of the bus, and we just were saying hello in the front. And then he comes to the front and is standing in the front of the bus, takes his shirt off, and just starts cheering. It's great. Tells us to take our shirts off. We didn't do that because that would have been weird. But yeah.
Yeah, that was fun. Show that now.
Okay.
You're not gonna.
No, I will. I showed it.
Okay. Caitlin Viera versus Miesha Tate. Let's start from the bottom. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, Sean Soriano, I hope he wins. He's awesome. And Natan Levy, represent my guy. Represent.
What do you love so much about Sean Soriano?
He's just so nice. I feel bad for him. He's Michael Chandler's friend, and he lost on that first. I just want to see him win. And then Natan Levy, I really care about. Like Natan Levy, he's a slight underdog now. People who watch him fight
value.
Monster. He's got so much traction right now, so much attention, and he hasn't even fought in the UFC yet. So let's see it. Israel, let's go. I'm gonna go through my picks, Cole, because I know you're gonna say your betting picks. So personally, I have Miesha Tate winning, because I believe she's the better.
Well, let's just discuss the fights and then get into it.
So want to start from the bottom?
Yeah, there is a couple fights that aren't on the main card that I do want to include.
Okay, we'll talk about your betting picks there.
Okay, that's fair. But before we do that, you're going to want to talk about a couple of the fights that aren't on the main card as well.
Okay.
Two in particular. First one being Terrence McKinney versus Fares Ziam. Both prospects, incredible fighters. Terrence McKinney, last four fights in the UFC, 4 KOs. Fares Ziam, I think his only loss is to Dasmir Magulov or some shit. You want to double check that, Jack?
No.
That's nice. His last loss was to Don Madge, who is killing it in PFL right now. Great wrestler. And Terrence McKinney, while he's a big threat with his hands, he's also good on the ground. So I do have Terrence in this fight. He's got a great guillotine, obviously his knockout power, but I also wouldn't be surprised if Farasian takes it by decision. But yeah, interesting fight. And then the other fight that you, of course, have already mentioned is Rafa Garcia versus Natan Levy. It's on the prelims.
Yeah, Natan Levy, all the way.
Well, I agree. I think Rafa Garcia has obviously got more experience.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a tough fight. I've got Levy.
Yeah. Rafa Garcia, I think his last loss was like to Chris Grutzmacher and someone else who's not bad either. Can't remember who it is. Doesn't matter. Natan Levy 6-0. He trains with Michael Chiesa, trains with Pat Sabatini, who's also in the card against Tucker Lutz. They've got a good camp, and I mean, I don't see Natan Levy losing. He's got great value right now. On to the main card.
Davey Grant versus Adrian Yanez. I like both guys. I'm going with Yanez, although the odds are kind of no, I get it. I get Yanez winning, but minus 300 might seem a little excessive.
Yeah, I agree. I think we should be able to get Yanez at a better value, but yeah, Yanez is he's a great fighter. Training with Aljo recently. Aljo, from what it seems, gets the best of him in the grappling exchanges.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
But that's also probably the best grappler in the division. So I would say Yanez, because of his incredible boxing skills, footwork, angles, and takedown defense and chin, he's going to win this fight easy. Can't be certain as to how, but yeah.
Davey Grant's good though. But let's talk about Joanne Wood, not Calderwood, Wood fighting Talia Santos. Also, the odds really, I think, are in this one. I think Joanne gets the job done truly against us.
I do not.
I think the winner gets a title shot though, right?
Yeah, Talia Santos is really fucking good everywhere, and she doesn't have a lot of power. So I don't. This fight, I think it goes the distance because neither of them are knockout artists. But it will be a fight on the feet unless Santos decides to take it down because she's getting outstruck. But Calderwood's got decent takedown defense, and I do not counter out. I don't counter out. This one is one of the hardest fights for me to bet on if I'm going to bet on it. As I said, I would say it goes the distance. But I hope Jojo wins. I love her, and I mean, so does her head coach. So he's probably putting the work with her.
No, yeah, I think
her head coach is Wood, by the way. That's why she changed her last name.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that, but anyways, yeah,
I just bring it to the fans.
If Joanne wins, she for sure should get the title shot against Shevchenko because she's like the only one who hasn't faced her, and she should have beaten Murphy. Like that was, I think, a bullshit decision.
Can I ask something?
Yeah.
Do you know what ranking Andrea Lee is, or at least what Calvillo was?
Yeah, she should be 5 now.
She should be 5.
Around there. Let me check. Oh, you're right. Andrea Lee should be, I guess. Like, she could make a case.
I think Andrea Lee fights the winner of... Who's Shevchenko's obvious fight, next fight?
There's no one. That's my point. So, Andrea Lee's 7 now.
Okay, so I think Andrea Lee should fight... what's her face?
Who?
Caitlin Chukagan.
No, Chukagan's got a fight with Jennifer Maia coming up, a rematch.
So who else is there?
Andrade, Murphy, Suarez.
Murphy.
Yeah.
Wait, Murphy already fought Andrea Lee. She won.
Oh, right, but Andrea Lee should have won.
Okay, so how about we do Lauren Murphy versus Andrade?
I think Andrade should fight the winner of Maia Chukagian too. Maia actually has a win over Andrade before the.
No, fuck it. Andrade Lee, winner fights Murphy.
This is the worst matchmaking ever. This division sucks.
I know. Okay, next fight.
Okay, next fight is Yaha. What's his name?
Ronnie Yaha.
Yeah, I hope he wins. I love that guy.
Me too.
Okay.
Kyung Ho Kang.
Yeah.
The thing is that Kyung Ho Kang has not been up against nearly as good a competition as Ronnie Yaha has. But then again, Kyung Ho Kang has good ground game and striking, but he still gets taken down. So I think this fight goes one of two ways. Ronnie either gets him down and submits him, rear naked choke, gets his back, one of the best back takers in the UFC, or Hyun Ho Kang keeps it standing and gets the knockout.
Yeah, I think that's...
So if you want a safe bet, safe fight doesn't go the distance.
Doesn't go the distance, yeah. Agreed. Michael Chiesa versus Sean Brady, Cole. This is a fight. This is a fucking fight.
Is there no... We already talked about... Oh, this is the co-main. Yeah. So dumb.
I have Michael Chiesa winning this. I know people are really high on Sean Brady, but I got Chiesa. Don't underestimate him. I think he got caught from Luque, but he was looking good. And yeah, I mean, I think a great bet for this would... is there a bet to just say it ends in submission?
Yeah, but not on Bet365. DraftKings has better prop bets if you guys are looking for that. But
available in Canada?
DraftKings?
Yeah.
I believe so, yeah.
Okay.
However, I would just say a safe bet for this one is for the fight to go over 1.5 rounds. I think it's just pretty obvious that it will. Sorry?
What are the odds on that?
Like minus 450. It's like, you know,
well,
it's like a safe bet.
I don't think it's safe. I think there's a good chance it doesn't go over a round.
Why? None of them finished their fights that quickly.
Well, Chiesa got finished that quickly.
Yeah, but Brady doesn't finish people that quickly, and as you said, he got caught. So I don't think he's going to get caught again.
Okay, I don't think so either. I just think it's for minus 450. It's not worth it. But yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I would worth risking taking Chiesa to win.
Yeah, I agree. I've got Chiesa, and then I think Sean Brady's great, but I think Chiesa is...
Yeah, Sean Brady's great everywhere, and he's got great pressure for wrestling, but Chiesa's he's just bigger, longer, and he has wrestling and jiu-jitsu, so he's good off his back. He's, I think he's a threat everywhere, and I think he's a specialist, not only at wrestling, but just ground game in general. So, and he's longer, he's got, more experience. I'm taking Chiesa here. He's also in training camp with Pat Sabatini and Tom Levy, as we mentioned earlier. So he's got people who are, down to the nose to the grindstone. So I'm taking Chiesa.
Good. I'm happy. Let's talk about the main event, Viera versus Tate. I think this is a weird fight for the UFC to make because Viera's coming off a loss, but she's still dangerous. I think it was a dumb fight for the UFC to make, personally, but I hope Nisha gets the job done. I think she will. But it's a tough fight.
For this one, I'm also doing over 1.5 rounds.
Yes. What is the odds on that?
Minus 600.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll give you guys my specific picks now. Jack, let me know if there's anything that is just you're very against, because I don't want to fuck over our fans this weekend.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. Luana Pinheiro. She's a great striker. She's going up against Sam Hughes. Sam Hughes got dominated by Luma Likbunmi, her last fight, who's also on this card. I'm taking Luana, minus 450, not by any method of victory. Then there's Shaylin Nierenbeek versus Sean Soriano. It all comes down to whether Sean Soriano can stay on his feet. I kind of want to take Shaylin against Sean Soriano, but this is one of those fights that I might be most uncertain about, so I'm just going to stay away from it.
Fair enough.
But then there's Cody Durden versus Q Langmaori. I'm taking Cody Durden. I do think he gets it done by finish, but minus 160 on the money line is good enough for me. I'm not going to add any extra risk. Then Terrence McKinney versus Faris Ziam. I've been going back and forth with this, but I think I finally landed on Terrence McKinney. Yeah, he could get the finish, but for some weird reason, I see him getting a decision in this fight after getting 4 straight KOs. I mean, the odds there alone would tell you that he's bound for a non-KO now, right? I mean, you could go both ways. You could say because his last 4 fights were all KOs, it could be a KO again this time. But then again, you could also say because his last fights were 4 KOs, what are the odds he's going to get a 5th one in a row? Either way, taking Terrence McKinney. It's even between the two. It's a pick 'em. So I'm taking Terrence, just straight up money line. Again, not worth the extra risk.
I agree. A number of ways. Just take it straight up.
Yeah. Loma Luke Bunmi versus Lupita Godinez. I actually think Luma gets this one done. She's shown great wrestling takedown defense. She's incredible at Muay Thai. And I mean, Lupita Godinez, yeah, she's great. And she's also fighting out of Canada, but she's not like anything spectacular. To be safe, though, I am going to take this and say it's going to go the decision. Good decision.
Yeah, I think for sure. What are the odds on that?
Minus 334.
There you go. Okay.
Well, you know what? I'm going to go over 2.5 rounds just because it's minus 350. The odds are so close and it decreases the risk a little bit. Natan Levy versus Rafa Garcia. Natan Levy's plus 100. You can't say no to that value. Tucker Lutz versus Pat Sabatini. This one's very tough for me. I think Pat Sabatini gets it done by submission or Tucker Lutz wins by decision because Pat Sabatini is quite tough, even though he did get dropped in his last fight. I'll leave this one for last. Adrian Yanez, I'm taking him. See, I would take Talia Santos, but my bias is preventing me from doing so. So I'm doing minus 600 for the fight to go over 1.5 rounds.
If you don't care, put Santos in, yeah.
Sorry?
If you don't care, put Santos in.
It's so tough. So tough. I'm going over 1.5 rounds. I'm playing it safe for you guys. You guys need to win. I haven't been nice to you recently. Rani Yaha versus Kyung Ho Kang. Not to go the distance. Probably the riskiest bet on the of the weekend, in my opinion. But fuck it. Michael Chiesa. I'm doing a lot of over rounds this weekend. Michael Chiesa, over 1.5, minus 200. I lied. That value is good enough, in my opinion. You hear?
We done?
No, you didn't hear me.
You cut out. Like, it's not my fault.
No, I didn't. You cut out.
Oh.
It was over 1.5 rounds. Sean Brady, Michael Chiesa was only minus 200.
Okay.
So I think that's good.
I mean, over 1.5 rounds?
Yeah.
I knew there was something off with that being minus 400. Seems weird. Okay.
And I'm doing over 2.5 rounds for Tate Viera.
100%. What are the odds on that? Minus 400?
Over 2.5?
Yeah.
Minus 275.
Great odds. Okay.
Yeah. So now the last fight is Tucker Lutz, Pat Sabatini.
Yeah.
That I want to bet on. Again, I'll stick to the riskiest bet of the night is Kyung Ho Kang versus Rani Yaha. That one being not going the distance. So here, Tucker Lutz versus Pat Sabatini. It's so tough. Tucker Lutz is really good. Like, he's really good. But Pat Sabatini, if you saw the way he dealt with that heel hook in his last fight, he got it done very quickly. Like, he looks to be like an unstoppable jiu-jitsu force, at least based on his last fight. So he's always able to threaten the submission. I could say the fight doesn't go the distance because it's a plus 110, but I think because we're at plus 500 right now, plus 5,000 right now, I say we do 2 bets, $10 each. Then each fight will give us $1,000 return. So first bet, Tucker Lutz, you got plus 10,788. $10 will return 1,088.89. I'm putting in the bet right now, actually, because I think it's good. I was putting my bets in for you guys so that you get, the good stuff. Now I'm going to reuse selections, just take out Tucker Lutz. And what do you think? Should I put in Pat Sabatini at minus 125, or should I put in Pat Sabatini by submission at plus 250?
One for each bet.
What? Well, I can't do that.
Why not?
Because I did one bet with Tucker Lutz, and now I'm doing one bet with Pat Sabatini.
I guess you do. I would just do straight up.
Straight up?
Yeah.
Should we throw in like Terrence Crawford boxing this weekend or no?
I think Terrence wins that fight. So yeah, I would. I think the odds, he's like minus 600.
Yeah, it's been going down though, which is scaring me. Sure. Sean Porter's still good.
I agree, but I still think I'm pretty confident in Terrence.
You know what? Let's stay away from boxing just because, like, yeah, I agree he's probably gonna win, but our focus ain't boxing. So $10 is gonna give you 980. I guess at the end of the day, we're cheering for Tucker Lutz. Am I right? Because it's an extra 100 beans. Yeah, that's
Okay. We're good.
That's that.
We've got work to do.
Is that our saying? Is that should that be our saying, like our podcast saying? That's that.
No, that's not very cool.
Ariel has like an intro. What is his intro when he starts the show?
We make our intro that dumb iMovie music. Can you change that?
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, it costs money. I don't know what to say. Once we get Sam Stout on here.
Yeah, Sam Stout is gonna get on here. I'm gonna get that fucker.
And once he does, we'll be rolling in the cash and we will buy some music.
Bye, everybody.
Wait. Let me think. Something about fruit.
Okay. Bye. I gotta go.
Make sure to peel your oranges. I hope you enjoyed the show with the cherry on top.
Sorry, everyone.
All right. Peace out.